The Street Bob. What is up, guys? Welcome back. Guess what we have loaded up? The Street Bob. We are going to be taking the Street Bob somewhere special. A friend of mine, he's gonna help us get this going in the direction that we're imagining. Stay tuned. Let's go check this out. Good to see you.
Come
on, Jake. I think we met before. Cole. Oh, what's up, Cole?
Jake, badass builder.
It's not a show bike.
Rad.
Oh, this is the one. I have a photo of this on my desk. Greg Black shot it.
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah.
You'll fit it perfect because this is built. We're like you're 5'9".
Yeah.
It's same height, so like it'll feel like everything's right there.
Dude, that thing's sick. Stance is so mean.
I want to feel like that on this bike. So that's one of the things we were talking about is like, if we do angle the neck, how do we get everything closer? We don't want to like angle like this and then push.
It will. So you de-rake it, and if you want to run straight risers, then you're definitely gonna have to do like a pullback of some sort, either a pullback riser or a pullback on the bars or something. Like
but
that.
the skinny is gonna make it like.
Yeah. So if you got narrow setup, your arms will seem longer because you're gonna not be so wide.
So I think we'll take our lows and we'll cut them as low as we can this way.
I think that's what makes it look even tougher.
Yeah. We got to do that. Straight,
I like a little pullback just for my wrist.
Yeah, a little.
Which
just
like those don't have much, but because they're so close together.
You can kind of see.
Yeah,
got
I
a little.
think you go straight and then a tiny pullback like he's saying, and that'll give you even more of that like
that's
resting position. That looks badass.
No front brake.
And then no front brake on that one. That's why he ran into a building.
Yeah.
The brake failure. Well, there's only one brake and it failed. Which also was in a drum around the sprocket. We want to try to use as many of our parts as possible. So like we have bars close to this that we could chop down. Do we slim this tank down this way? Do we slim it this way, or do we do one of those things where we like reverse the bend in?
Dish it.
Yeah, dish it in. Take 2 inches out and dish it in.
What does this hold? 3.5, 4?
Yeah, I think it's a 3.5 or.
Put your hands close.
This was 4 over stock, and then our top caps added a 1/2 inch.
Oh yeah, okay, so you can push it down a little more with these on there.
Yeah, so the bike originally is 30-degree neck angle. They do sell Softails at 28-degree.
They do?
Yeah, actually the lowrider and the lowrider ST has a 28-degree.
Really?
We gotta make it at least 26, because it can't be something you can buy. And then we were even going to the extent of like, do we cut out like a section?
That holds a radiator?
Yes, but do we cut it out and do like twisted metal, or like either paint the frame to match the tins or chrome the frame?
Yeah.
Is there another one here?
It's got one here that goes into the heads.
So if we're raising the backbone a little bit and raising this up, this is all gonna have to get new motor mount. Either this needs to get moved, or this, the mount that goes from here to the engine is gonna have to get changed. I think it didn't come with a fairing or anything, it's just the headlight.
Just the headlight. We're thinking maybe one of those small fairings, like the little like Sportster kind of fairing. But then we were also talking like maybe we make a custom headlight bucket.
I've slimmed one down before for Scott when we did the flat track bike. I pulled the pump out and then I just basically like made custom part with the fuel pressure regulator. I took off all the other stuff, but I don't know on the Softail, like you said, it could need some kind of like CAN bus signal to keep it running. So we'd have to try to figure it out.
Look at them meats, dude. Jesus. But yeah, that's what I was thinking, but you need the fuel pump in it.
Yeah, so, just make, if there's enough room to do it on this tank. These are pretty cheap still. Like nobody really caught on to like, these are sick to cut up.
You're getting excited? That looks sick.
Yeah.
That's specifically for
I
that.
think if we have to, we
See
could.
this joggle for the fuel sender assembly?
And then you're saying we take the fuel pump apart and make a different base plate?
Base plate, yeah, just get the actual pump and relocate all the electrical stuff. We will just have the clutch and brake, yeah.
The idea is you have a chopper that can ride almost better than a current bike. All right.
I'll be in touch.
Cool. Sounds good.
Let you
We'll see
know
you
when I
around.
start cutting.
Yeah. Thanks, Jake. As you can see, he's built some pretty rad stuff. Jake did some work on a panhead that I had for a while. You guys are going to see this all unfold in one vlog, but I imagine for us, like he said, couple weeks, I would guess 4 weeks. So this is rolling out of his shop.
That visit was really cool, seeing the bike builds that he's done and just kind of like the older like styling of the choppers. Yeah. That's the way I want ours to feel and look.
Yeah. All right, guys, it's been a couple weeks, but I did get word from Jake over at Metal Haas. He made some progress on the bike. He wants us to show up, check it out, and kind of see the angle of the head tube and some of the details he's doing. He wants our opinion, so it's time to go check it out.
Let's go see it.
The chop on a lumpy fueling cam on the 128 versus the stock 117. I haven't really had a chance to ride this bike a lot. Look at that. He's got the neck off.
I get that plug weld cut out. I just measure angles, make sure.
So check that out. He ground the paint off there and then
yeah, and then just tack it.
Set it up there.
Yeah, now I'm just trying to take this whole cast section off, leave these tubes in here. Once I get this off, so this is all weld around here. So now it's all split. It's ready to slide off. As soon as there's one plug weld, there's a plate inside here that's this cast section was plug welded too, so just got to cut that out, and I want to leave the inside plate so when I slide this, because it's gonna have to get slid forward.
Oh yeah, that discoloration right there.
Yeah, right there on that plate. It's kind of a trip how they do this neck. All this being casted into it, and this cast.
Is this a full circle? Oh, it is.
I'm about to make pastor tacos right now.
Hey.
We showed up at the right time. You got enough for us?
I think so.
All right, let's do it.
Just because I can't just pivot thing down.
Yeah, then you'll.
All right, so the one thing we were just discussing and Jake was checking out, this was the 2018 Sport Glide, and this neck is at 30 degrees. This is a 22 Lowrider ST, and this neck is at 28 degrees. But we're thinking that we want to make 2025 Street Bob started at 30 degrees, right, which is closer to the Sport Glide. But we're thinking that we want to make this frame have a 26 degree neck angle, something that Harley does not manufacture or offer, so it is different. There it is.
Separate right here as soon as you hit that.
Gapped up.
Yeah. That easy, huh? Just like that. Wow.
So that's what I'll get into after lunch. I'll start cutting out those off, and then get those set on here and set that neck angle. Actually, I'll probably take the trees off, and that way I can put them in the neck and make sure that where I put it allows the turning radius we need.
All right, there it is. 1.25 inches up.
It's at the new height, but not at the new
Angle. Yeah, looks good.
Dude, look at those things, they're proper.
Thank you, sir. Look at that. Come over here for just to check out the bike build, and they're already whipping up some pastor.
That's right.
Was that planned, boys? That's like our thing we do on our vlog.
Perfect.
We go have pastor tacos.
Perfect.
Nice.
I love pastor. Wow. I wasn't expecting to feed you guys too, so.
Would it be worth, like, can you take any of that out?
I can take a bunch of stuff out. I just got to make sure that whatever I do, I make it compensate for strength.
Well, Do we want to use that tank or do we want to?
You got to make the choices. I
mean, there's always that part of me that's like, this is like the heart of it, right? Like you're kind of keeping the OEM Street Bob tank on it as a part of that. That's cool. Or you could do something simple where we like just invert the sides. We're still in the debate. Like I think we're leaning more towards spokes. A good set of spokes though with like a nice hoop on it, something that looks sexy. And so I think the bike needs to kind of come together before we start picking a color.
whatever hub you use just has to work.
We're gonna go back, we'll look at the tank.
Yeah.
We'll figure out how much
Look
space.
at that FXR tank before you leave?
Yeah, check it out. All right guys, so here's the thing. We're talking about, keeps moving forward, what the backbone is gonna be. Because we're not gonna use the stock tank, or at least we don't think we're gonna use the stock tank. Curious if we could take out this much. I guess we could take a quick measurement.
We're 9 inches in the back, 9.5, about 15.
So then let's go measure that one.
So this has got bigger radius here, an inch wider at least in the back, inch and a half wider in the front.
So virtually, can it be the size of the stock Street Bob tank?
But with this shape.
Yeah, but with this shape. Like I don't like how the center kind of radiuses out too much.
This hard right here and this hard line here,
Yeah.
right? This is way less radius. It's
And then how just like continue.
narrow in the much narrower in the back. We're on
What do we got right there?
7,
Yeah.
14.
And your
So,
FXR was 11?
9 and
11 or 12?
9 and 14.
14.
Here's a dust line. If you took this and went like that,
Yeah.
that would be a way better shape, that dust line here, versus this hard corner.
Yeah. I think that has more of the shape, the Lowrider S and ST tank. And knowing that it can squeeze that much with the same fuel pump in it, we should be able to get it close to this dimension with less of this taper.
Yeah.
Right? Like let's not taper it as much.
Yeah, no, I can take that, one of those tanks, and just squeeze it in
Let's plan on that.
as small as you can and fit the pump.
There it is.
Alrighty, thank you.
All right. See you later this week.
All right, later, boys.
All right, we're back at the shop right now, and this is the tank. Fuel pump, let's go check it out. All right, so here's what we're trying to do. We want to use the Lowrider ST tank that was our takeoff from our Born Free build, which is actually kind of pretty cool.
Yeah.
If we can recycle our Born Free build tank over to this biker build off. That we like the shape and styling of this tank over the Street Bob tank that came on the bike, but we don't want it to be as big. We want it to be narrower. The one thing that we know is that the fuel pump is the same basically from the Street Bob to this bike, and the Street Bob tank's already so much skinnier. We should be able to pull out quite a bit without intruding into the line of the fuel pump. There you go. But there still is the
Yeah,
thingy.
we still gotta do some finagling. Don't want to bend any of this stuff.
Okay, real quick. So this all sits
Like that.
like that. So
I think we could, if we needed to, come up too.
you can almost like keep that line and just go to this line.
Yeah.
So you could,
Because it still flares out.
yeah. All right, what is Street Bob tank is not fitting. We like the shape. We like the rounded corners. We like that this resembles something a little bit more vintage and a little bit more timeless and traditional. As well as you can see, like the top of the tank is a lot flatter. Doesn't have that kind of ballooned out shape that the other one does. I'm cool with even like leaving the dash, or maybe even like making a custom dash.
Something out of build.
Yeah, and then like just doing the right hand fill and just shrinking this thing up to a similar measurement. Actually, we have FXR tanks here. Tank from the 90s, they were running this tank, FXR tank, sometime in the 80s into the 90s. And you can see the silhouette of these two tanks is very, very similar, which is the style that we're going for. You can see from the top as well, they are very similar. This is a center fill tank.
That difference, right?
What was that, like 2 to 3 inches?
That's not
What is
3
that, 6 inches?
that's not 3 inches.
All right, so these are just eyeball measurements, but it's looking like this tank is somewhere around 14.5 to 15 inches wide at its widest point, whereas this one looks about 17 inches at its widest point. 3 inches. I think this is the jam. That's our tank.
There it is.
All right, guys, we got ourselves a FXR gas tank, a little crusty. The FXR tank, we like the shape of it better. We're gonna run this over to Metal Haas, drop it off at Jake's. He's gonna put the tunnel on this, on the FXR tank, so, and he has some progress on the frame. Yeah, I got it. Oh, look at that tough guy.
Go. That's a big fucking mess I made.
You're gonna cut it up anyways. Fuel pump really only needs to there. You know, I mean, you could cut that line if you wanted to. Hey, there's the frame. There it is, guys. Yeah. Looks like it. Look at that. Looks factory.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But even if you wanted to get it back to a roller and then decide, but also the engine's pretty big, right? So
yeah.
I'll let you know the determining factor that we can't mention yet, but
I'm thinking of chroming the frame.
it's not live.
Yeah, we can cut it out.
If that's the case, then we need to clean this up more.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna chrome the
All
frame.
this needs to get
that's
smoothed
just,
out.
I mean, it's just personal preference. But
Well, obviously.
Shit, you almost don't even need to put the tunnel, huh?
We don't really need to. We just have to have enough room for the fuel pump.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll come down the back.
Yeah, I think we can go up like that for sure.
We drop back down a little more and make that flat section that are here follow the backbone. We need to get this cleaned up.
it's pretty good, dude.
And then the air filter and throttle bodies right
So
here.
that's probably what it's clearing is the air
Yeah.
filter out.
I mean, my idea was like these welds look pretty
I-
damn close to
Yeah, I
this
should be able
side.
to pretty much make fun of this thing because
What's that?
I didn't pull out the tabs. It's all welded in there. It's hard to get to, so I just welded it in like that, and there's a bunch of pain in between, so I had to fight it a little bit.
This thing is freaking.
So it's all,
Look
I
at
ended
it.
up TIG welding everything on the bottom.
Look at it from here.
When I
That's
finished
bad.
welding the back of this and I flipped it over to pressure test it, I've never seen that happen, but it sank right here pretty bad. So I pulled it out. I'm not gonna, but it was like down like fucking
It
that
pulled
much.
it in.
Inch and a quarter up, 26 degrees.
Yep.
FXR tank,
Narrowed 2 inches.
narrowed 2 inches. Dope. Let's collect all the parts,
So
throw it in the rig.
I'm excited. It looks sick. Like, it looks bitchin'.
you guys gonna use that fender?
I don't know yet. We got our hands on a wide glide fender, which kind of has like a ducktail, and it also has like a cool like kind of seam on the outside, like a 1 inch like little. We were gonna mock that up.
Where are the
mock-
taillights on this bike?
So normally they're coming out the side like an Eckert trailer.
That's ugly.
We got that fender, this fender, and then I also have an FXR fender. To get the bike back to the shop, we're going to put different wheel sizes on it, widths and heights. Out the door, watch your back. Should we take the tank off? Like, or should we bolt it down, or should we?
Piece right here. I don't know if you guys would use that covers that little section.
Yeah, it hooks the seat.
Oh, it hooks the seat. So yeah,
Yeah.
all right. Well, with the backbone in the front, just bend this tab so it sits flat right there.
Sick.
Greased it up a little bit.
Yeah, I can tell I got a little WD-40 hands now.
Yeah.
Here's the leftover pieces.
Back to the shop.
Thank you for taking on the project and helping us make something that's gonna stand out. All right, guys, so now that the frame is back, it is on our table. There is some work that still needs to be done to it. Some tabs we wanna take off. Juan was looking at an OE weld.
Yeah, so we were gonna smooth out some of the welds.
We're still not sure what we want to do in terms of color of the frame. There's a couple things popping through our mind. We're definitely not going to leave this frame black. We've come this far. We're not going to make it look like an OEM frame, which Jake did an amazing job making this look super clean, but you can look at how bitchin' his welds are right there. The welds are rough, We can clean those up.
A lot of the start stops are really bulgy and that bothers us. So we're gonna take those down and then we're gonna fix some areas that were missed during the manufacturing process. I don't know if you guys could see that.
Before I had a good angle that I could see.
But that's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah, that's a hole in the weld.
So we're gonna fill that area. We're gonna just try to smooth the welds out. We're gonna cut some tabs off that we're not gonna use, right? Like this one and this one.
So we're gonna run a chain drive on it for sure. Chains look better with no belt guard, so we'll delete those. Hopefully in this vlog, we have choices of fenders. Stock fender, a wide glide fender with a little tail. We have an FXR fender. We also have some wheels we want to test, different sizes. Hopefully by the end of this vlog, have an idea of wheel size, fender direction, because we do need to get this thing roughly done and then taken apart for paint. Because guys, keep in mind, weeks away from Sturgis, we're gonna be going to Harley's homecoming. We're gonna go to Sturgis, we're gonna be on the road for over 2 weeks. We come back and then we have like a month to get this thing done in time for the reveal. Also, I talked to the boys at Fueling. We're gonna try to do something to this engine. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna rip off the swing arm. That way we can articulate it easier. Kind of lift it up a little bit. So Juan was like, he was like, dude, that was a lot of work in the tank. And it's so similar to a Street Bob tank, but really, it's quite different. Check this out. And I want to say this just so everybody, when you guys come and check this bike out in person, and like that's what, just overall, the width is crazy different. You can just show it like this. See, is different, and then the side angle. FXR side, much cleaner. It doesn't have this bulbous. Look at how it like kind of from here to here like comes up. Has that sharp corner right here. This one's like the clean, vintage, old school. On the top, it's much flatter. And then the overall width of this one, rough estimate, it's like 13.5. This one's like 14.5, 15 inches. Super stoked on that. All right. All right, so we got the lower tab taken off, and now we're gonna go ahead and move some paint so we can look at taking this top chain guard off. Juan, how's that working over there?
Good, just taking the powder coat off the frame and taking it on the welding table soon.
Sweet. So back in the day, like when I was in my early teens, we used to ride go-peds, and I had a buddy with one of these, was trying to grind all the paint off his frame because he wanted to spray paint it. He had it on the auto lock, and it caught his shirt somehow and wrapped up his shirt and knocked his front teeth out. It was going ga 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 ga.
No.
Yeah, like he was like you know 13 or 12, just like ga ga ga. What's that thing that cooks wear?
Apron.
Apron. Tabs are off. I'm gonna clean that up just a little bit. If you remember, those tabs were up on the top rail. Small tabs were on the bottom rail. The only other tab left right now on here is the brake hanging tab. The thing is you don't want to go so low on the welds that you leave that it weakens it.
I'm gonna go ahead and add a lot of material there. Just
You're really adding in there, huh?
it was missing. Did you ever see it?
Yeah, I saw it. There, you could see like the edge of the tube.
Yeah.
How'd we do, brother?
All right, I'm happy with the weld now. We filled in the hole, made it look smooth.
If you guys remember, there was a hole between
It was
the connections of this right here and there. Talked to Jake about when I told him what we might be doing to this frame. He's like, bro, you got to knock all the welds down on it. So the high spot, so you can see like Juan said, the starts and stops.
let's just get it
Yeah.
on the lip, and we could
Yeah,
both
you
go
can
to
see
town.
that. I can't get it one-handed. Very addicting. Check this out. Come over here, one. Like, it's just like one of those things. Like, yeah, when we started, I was like, yeah, we'll just kind of knock off the high points, and
You're
then you keep
blending
going,
them,
and then you
dude.
get
You're
going, and you
blending.
start blending them. What do you think?
I mean, it looks sick. Like, yeah, if you like look at that and like this.
Like, I just like, even look, little spot, like you'll never see it. It's at the bottom of the frame. I don't know if you guys can see that. And you can even see like there's like a little like, you know, like a splat weld,
Yep.
like sitting there.
Splatter.
Like, it's addicting. I mean, you could keep going. I took off the high spot. You can see there's like a little another like kind of nugget I almost want to get. But it's like, when do you stop, you know? Like, but the thing that you realize is like when you start staring at the frame, when it's empty and there's no engine in it, you do see the imperfections. And you see that it is just machine robot made. And then you do start going, oh, I can tweak out a little bit more here, tweak out a little more there. All right, so now here's the thing, right? So we smoothed this out quite nice. I mean, there's still a couple high spots, but we're cleaning that up. And virtually when this is painted, it could look like one piece. This one looks like it was hot glued. So it's like, oh, all right, let's do that one now. So
All right, let's match these sides. Let's bring it down a little bit
yeah,
though.
let's go, let's clean this up. Okay, you could tweak out for a long time on this, but one thing that I wanted to, like, I just ran back over to one of our put together Softails, and I was looking at, this is like one of the welds that we smoothed out, and you could see it on both sides. Honestly, didn't even notice it. I didn't even notice it when we built this bike. You don't think about it, right? But now that you look and you're seeing that there, you see from the top. Once it's painted and stuff, it's gonna look smooth. Now I'm realizing, dude, it's never ending. It's never ending. I think we could smooth that out a little bit.
Give it some love.
Oh, dude, it's like we were so focused on this, and now I'm looking at this one and I'm like, we cleaned up areas that when we look at a complete bike, we realize like, okay, they're super visible. But then we start cleaning up more areas. Okay, there's some low spots. Do we fill the low spots? I mean, I see how you could spend days prepping the frame before we send it to paint. And we still have work. We still have to reassemble it to do some more work. We took the tabs off of the swing arm, but then I noticed like these are, it's pretty wild too. Like I'm kind of tripping. Like I've never taken a bike this brand new and just like it's apart and we're just hacking at it.
It's gonna be sick though.
Yeah.
Like,
I really want to see it. We haven't even seen it with that tank, with the seat, with the fender.
that's what I want to do. I want to see the stance of it. It's gonna take us 20 minutes to put it together, or 30 minutes. Let's check the stance, and then we'll take it back apart, and then we'll keep tweaking out on it.
We're gonna make wheels for it. We need to get the dimensions, like what wheels we're going for, right? Are we gonna go 21 front, 18 rear? Are we going 19 front, 18 rear? So we need to figure out our wheel stance, and you've already done some rad wheel drawings, but we can't get the blanks going and get the cutting going until we know wheel size. So if we confirm that now, we can move forward with the wheels. Hey, bro. These are for customers only.
I
dog.
bought something in the morning. Chill, dude.
Bought anything today?
Yeah.
I did.
Guy thinks that the custom refrigerator is for himself to steal
Don't say
Red Bulls.
nothing. Cheers, boys. What's up, man? Juan?
Lance,
Hey,
nice to meet you.
I commented on your thing about, I took my girls at Disneyland. I was like, I'm gonna see you guys
Oh,
on the
sweet.
way back, so I
Badass.
had to pick up some pegs. Pick up a 24 street bob.
Okay, badass.
Yeah,
Sweet.
so-
You guys all come together, or?
No, but actually my wife and kids are
Oh, right on.
I know. What's up, Mike?
Lance,
Josh.
nice to meet you, Josh.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, Lance. Nice to meet you.
All right, got a little pick me up.
Here is the bike rebuilt. New tank, 1.25" up, 26-degree rake, some of the welds shaved. What wheel sizes are we going for? As well as what rear fender are we going for? We have a couple options. Let's pull them over here real quick. But we wouldn't set it like that. We'd cut it and like roll it. You know what I mean? FXR fender, which would, you know, maybe we don't use this exact one, but it would start giving us a visual idea of what this would look like if maybe the fender went a little longer and had a tail light on the back. So the other thing is as we kept working on this bike, we're like, okay, do we want to go a little higher with the risers now?
I think for sure. I mean, I don't know.
Think we're,
I'm leaning forward right now.
yeah.
I think
Do we just go up to our standard 9.5 risers, or do we go up to our
let's try the 10s.
10 straights?
10 straight.
All right, that's an 18-inch wheel. We're gonna throw it on the back to see the look of that difference, to see if it lightens up the rear end. Also, we would consider maybe like cutting some of this to open that up a little bit more, cutting this off. So bear with us for the next transition. I'm also kind of considering ripping my 21-inch bagger wheel on the front end of this, just to visualize if we had that big of a wheel on it. What do you guys think? Do you think a 21 on the front will look a little too donked out? Or do you guys think that it would look cool?
That looks tough as hell, dude.
Juan's convinced we're putting straight bars on this thing.
Hey, that's tough.
Juan says that we gotta do this, dude.
No, it needs some bend in it. I get a straight bar, but
Jake said no.
How does it feel?
Dude. I feel like Scott would rock this.
You like that, huh?
It feels cool.
So if you haven't noticed, we added 10-inch straight risers. There was 4-inch straight, so we've gone up on the rise, but we also put an 18-inch rear, a little bit different stance. What do you think? I'm thinking about taking the 21 front off the bagger just to look at it on the front. All right, so the fender on a Softail, it stops. The fender that we have is off of a Dyna, but the fenders on here, they stop right at the top of the swing arm. So we're just gonna like cut off what we believe we don't need and just place it in there. Now, whatever fender we do choose, we're gonna end up going with a fully custom seat pan. Bear with us if there's any gaps or it doesn't flow perfectly.
I think we would cut this off, right?
Yeah, the underside.
And get rid of this. I do feel like it should be lower. Oh, that looks pretty sick. What's throwing me off is the tire so small.
Front tire?
Do we need to go a little bit higher at the tank?
I like where it's at right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, so now we played with that fender. We're staying with the back right now. We're not totally sold, and I'm not sold on this fender. I think don't I have like that like really junky FXR fender up there that was like Sharpied on?
Where'd you get that one?
Back to traditional. I don't want to cut it. If it has to be cut, we get a different one, you know? All right, I'm not gonna lie, I'm already falling in love with this one. The fender is, I don't know, 6 inches too long and it won't let us like level it out, but maybe we can put something in there that like holds it up a little bit. it's hard to tell when it's not in the right position. Okay, we can't find one of the FXR fenders that we have that's bad enough that we would feel okay cutting it. So we're gonna hold off for a second on that. What we're gonna move on to is we're gonna take off this 21-inch front wheel and see what it would look like on that. I don't even know if this will fit between these. It's too wide.
Oh no.
Dang it. The rotor width, but what we could do is we could take one tube off and visualize it from the side. The one thing that you said was holding you back was the back wheel.
That's too small. The sidewall is not the right height, so it's just like mentally it's hard to get the full picture. I would rather have like a more meaty back tire. Even though we might go with the larger diameter rim, the tire is still gonna be this style.
So what we're gonna do is we're going to now put the stock 17 back on, remove this front 18 off port glide, and now we're gonna match up to that. We're gonna have to lift the frame though. What are we doing now? What are we doing now?
Oh, let's do this.
Oh, you like that fender.
It's growing on me.
We gotta kind of fill that in with something to hold it up. I gotta imagine we would shave the seat down to be much thinner.
Oh, that looks pretty
What's
sick,
up,
dude?
All right, 21-inch front wheel. I think 6 over tubes, 26-degree rake with 1.5 inches up on the frame, ducktail fender, FXR tank, 16-inch rear right now.
For me, right now, this is like the combo. I like the meaty back tire. Realistically, if we're gonna do a custom seat, I would like, if we're gonna make a new ones of these, bring this down an inch and a half.
Bring this down?
Yeah, bring this and the whole fender, you know, make it go. Obviously, I would get rid of this.
Yep.
Bring it down 1.5 inches or 2. Make sure we still have clearance for the tire travel, but like try to slam it. It's a 16.
16, sorry, I've been calling it 17 all the time. The other thing I was gonna say is we have 17s on other bikes. I think the Dynas are 17s.
Oh, yeah.
A Dyna 17, which is a rear, and then that would give you a better idea of what a 17 would look like. But then we gotta take a wheel off my Dyna in the showroom. All right, we got a 17. We're running out of jacks. There's bikes everywhere. Too many bikes have the jacks. That's looking better. I still don't know if I'm fully sold on the fender yet. We could still use an FXR fender, or we could just use a lowrider fender, which has the length. It's just a little wider than we would like, but it has the length and it has the tail light. So really we could view it from the side. So not only do we have the bagger apart, but now the Dyna in my showroom's apart, the 2018 Sport Glide's kind of apart. We're gonna wake up tomorrow confused, 4 bikes apart. It's also kind of hard to like imagine it with no engine in it and like not really the fender in the position that you would want it and not the seat you would want. This build has got me going, man, we should have done like a rendering.
Scratch it. Oh, you got it. We're gonna need this guy here.
All right.
Hold it right there.
Give me the other one, I can do this side and then I'll put a seat on it. Probably put that seat on it. This one, huh? The actual one off that bike. Oh, you got it, you got it. Don't give them the full visual yet.
Oh, dude, here,
Just the partial. Okay, so it won't let, the tanks are different, so it won't let it go up all the way. All right, what do you think, dude? Okay, if we left that fender, it would have to roll more forward.
What do you mean roll forward?
I just feel like it's like tilted back too much. I don't know, maybe like needs to sit.
This is just the most complete setup, so visually it comes together the most, right? It's got a tail light, license plate.
All right, so what he was saying is at least this one has the tail light. Like it looks almost like a finished bike if you just pay attention to that. It's gonna be something that I'm gonna have to sleep on. One, you're gonna have to sleep on, I think. Dream about it, come back, wanna maybe see it again. I think one thing that we can do is we could throw the bars back on. Okay, let's throw the 19 back on. 19, 17. I feel like it might be a little too daunting for the 21. Like if you imagine that in chrome.
If we were to do, yeah, they have to be close in size, I feel like. Either like 1918 or 1917. But yeah, I think the 21 is just too big.
And then the next thing would be fender. Were we sold on the ducktail? Or we sold on the full fender look with the tail light on the fender? Or the chopped bob fender?
I think for me, the ducktail one, the coolest one for me. I think it needs like some work to get it in the right spot.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think that one would look the coolest, like completed. I do feel like I like this one just because it's almost done. Like in my brain, it's like, oh, this looks cool. But I feel like the ducktail one is, I think it's sick. I think we got to put a little more effort into seeing like that more complete.
Put in the comments below. 19 front wheel, 21 front wheel, 16, 17, 18 rear wheel. And then the other thing would be full fender with taillight on the fender, which would be this one, the bob fender, or the wide glide ducktail fender. So these are things that we're gonna think about over the next couple nights. So it may be a couple weeks till you guys actually see what we choose. Maybe your guys' comments will be taken into consideration.
Yeah, write down below in the comment section, what do you guys think we should do? That way we'll look through them. And
other than that, we know we're gonna put a cam, hot rod that engine. There's gonna be a lot more to do. With that being said, thank you guys so much for checking this out. Hope you guys are stoked to see that big of a transformation with the frame, the tank, and the whole bike in one episode. And we'll see you guys on the next one.
see you later.